this powerful movement that is going on in the world is dangerous as well. Dangerous in a way that you already are receptive for dark energies. As we go along with our lives, we have the ability to think in a positive way, and positive is good. There's two things that is the main source of light. The main source is unconditionally love and goodness. That's the values we have within our life. You have to find that. You have to understand that you have to live by those two words in everything. God didn't make it difficult. He made it simple. Source of light is a simple way of living. It didn't it hadn't been created for us to be struggling to find it, to understand it, to practice it. So understand this. This is something else making it difficult. And let's take, for example, meditation, healing. It could be sound healing, it could be meditation healing, it could be any Reiki, Kundalini. It can be so many different practices. And when you do that, it's beautiful. It activates your nervous system. It activates your inner self. But in many ways, it's dangerous if you don't. And this is the most crucial part of the whole journey. We all have wounds, we all have trauma, we all have a garbage bag of things that has been said by us through our lives. If we don't release that before we do any kind of practice, that will be exploited, taken advantage of dark forces. Meaning, if you open up for any chakras, if you activate your nervous system, if you do anything of that and you haven't dig deep inside of you and cleared out all that needs to be cleared out to start your journey, then it will just stay there. And then whatever you do, and it doesn't matter how much money and how much practice you do, if you haven't forgiven yourself, if you haven't forgiven other people for their actions towards you, there can be unconditionally love and goodness, because it's still there. It's like we all carry a suitcase with our karma. We have a depth of karma, and we need to release that in a beautiful, unconditionally loving way. Through our lives, we have been having hate, anger, violence, guilt, feeling guilty about something. It could be a relationship where you did something wrong. First, you need to forgive yourself for it. And ask for forgiveness, not to God, but to this person. You don't need to sit and hold the person's hand. You can energetically do it just by saying it, believing it. Intentionally send the frequency from your inner self out, as well inwards. In that way, you release it. When you do that, there's nothing to manipulate, there's no access. A dark force only has access through something that is with fear, shame, guilt, any negative. So you have two things. Without any interference of any complicated version, you keep it simple with love and with goodness in every way. So I want you to start thinking about who and how you want to forgive. And this can be people, it can be situations within yourself that you have created, or scenarios in your life that you didn't like. Forgiving ourselves for hurting ourselves to be someone we were not. When we start to recognize that that was not me, that period of time was not me, and I feel guilty and shame about it. Could be, for example, with me drinking and doing drugs, and that person I was at that time, I didn't like. It was not me in every way. So I chose to forgive myself. How do I forgive myself? I went into silence for many years, digging into myself and sorted out with myself and finding out who I am and my values. I found out that I had unconditionally love, so I found it, and I said to myself, who I am now, I will release the old me, the old version of me, and I forgive myself. When I forgive myself, I go through every single scenario in my mind and I release it. I send that version with love away, that scenario with love away, and I just continue. In the end, you feel when it's released. It's not just by doing it one day, 1 minute, 1 hour, and then it's released. It's just like an exercise, like you go to the gym and you want to build up muscles. Works the same way with inner healing. You know, we don't heal by other people. We heal ourselves. That's the only way. We can be together with other healers that will empower our own healing. We can be energetically boosted by healers that has an immense light towards others, and they will use their energy to boost your energy to clear out anything that's needed. But you need to do your work, and it starts with forgiveness. Don't relate forgiveness with religion. Forgiveness is something that you forgive, you choose to love yourself, free yourself from anything that is not necessary for you to carry anymore. So this suitcase starts to be lighter, and you have to continue and continue and continue until it's all clear. Your body, your mind, your soul will let you know when that time is. It will come through dreams or sensation or both. For example, for me, I had a dream and I saw a big bag, black bag, and that bag was empty. And I just knew. I saw books in different colors: orange, yellow, pink, and green. And then I saw this black bag on the floor. You know, when you see these movies when they do a robbery and they have this black bag where they put the money inside and they do it quickly and they run away with the money? That kind of bag, huge. And it was just empty. I emptied it. Took me years, to be more precise, around maybe six years or something like that. It's a beautiful journey, painful, hard, tough, but beautiful at the same time. You have to understand that everything we do, we grow, we learn, we grow stronger, and things around us makes more sense. It becomes more easy. Things starts to flow because you start to attract things. You start to look younger. I see people, I see darkness, and I see how it tears apart people, and you can just see it on their eyes, their face, their skin, their body, everything. It eats you up. Start to letting things go will automatically, show itself on the body itself, inside and out. So a practice is to observe your thoughts, and you start to empty it, but from a distance. When you observe it if it's really yours or not. Is it yours? I can give you example, and it's a good one in terms of I have my videos, and there was a sweet lady, a soul, that wrote that with my tarot card reading there was birds, and these cards are all about love, and it represents the animal kingdom. And if you have a any kind of bird, it represents something. And she wrote that one card represented power, strength, and the other was representing, and then something came out of her, and she said that the colors of the bird vibrating something in a negative vibration. There was something evil with those words, and then as well she said that it represents danger. And I wrote back to her, uh, is this is this something that comes from your inner self and your light, or is it something else? That's the only question I can ask or give for that message, because the universe, our higher self, our inner light, with unconditionally love, doesn't use words like that. So this is with your thoughts. You have to be very observant of what is the energy of it. Is it unconditionally love related in every way? If it's not you. This is how it works. This is who you are. And we know our thoughts. And then when we start to observe it and see it from a distance, so you can pull out any scenario where things comes in that is not us. We need to distance ourselves from it. We need to recognize it and say, wow, this is not me, so I'm leaving that. That's not me. I just push it away. And that feels good. Sometimes we can dwell in it for hours, minutes, hours, days. And it could be like someone looking for love. You're looking for love and you start suddenly to think like, nobody loves me, I will never find love. It's just never gonna happen for me, and it's just continue like that, all these things. But inside, you know, actually, you're gonna find love when the time is right. You believe there's someone out there for you. We all have beautiful uniqueness within us, and we know that. Doesn't matter body size, all these things. We all have something beautiful. I always see it, and I'm so happy. I look at people and say, oh, she has that. Oh, she has that. He has that. You know, and it's so beautiful when you start to observe your thoughts and be aligned with yourself. You being your true self, and then you actually reflect it, and you actually you appreciate, you loving it with goodness, to be able to see good in everything. With unconditional love, you just give to everything. A stray dog on the road, I will say, like with love, hello you, how are you? You know, and you know, you just see the dog like, where do you come from? You know, I like your energy. Hello, you know. And even if they like barking, and you know, they stand out and they're like, who is that? Where did he come from? You know, I don't recognize that kind of pure energy. So this is something that is undescribable beautiful when you start to tune into your inner self. You get empowered by your motivation of practicing this. So it's a beautiful thing. So how to release thoughts as well. To darkness will be there, and they will want to have access through your negative impact, through shame, guilt, and all these things. And you have to take every piece. So what I do, I can take my mom, for example, that there's a lot of trauma there, and no one is to blame for that. I give her love. I surround her with love. She's still alive. I prefer not to sit and hold her hand or be in near her. I chose to be at distance. So there's some flies here and they are like dancing around. So what I did is that she did some bad things to me, being a narcissist and beating me up, and it's not really her. It's a darkness that has been impacting her to affect me in every way. So I understand that. But I had to forgive myself and forgive her. So I go to nature. I lay in bed. I sit here at the kitchen table with my coffee. And I will say words. I will think about all these wounds and I will release it. And sometimes I say different words, but I will think about things and then I'll say, I release this imprisonment, like I'm imprisoned with this thought, this feeling, this emotional state. I release that. I do not choose to be imprisoned by this. And I say, I choose freedom. I choose me. I am who I am. And I send it away with love and light. And I do that many times to release it, to lift it up and release it. In the end, I felt one day when I was in nature, I was looking at the sun and it was morning and I just felt the sun. And I finally had released it, but I released it in a way, the last bit I released by surrounding myself and my mom, and I gave her a hug, a big hug, a kiss, and I embraced her with my light and sent light to her from distance, saying, no matter what, I love you. That felt like so much relief, it was beautiful, really beautiful. I felt within peace within myself. So every single situation, and I actually did this where I went to different people in my life that I had trauma about or heartfelt situations. I would go and hug them with my light and release it. Very nice. With that, things gets better. And when things gets better, your meditation starts to be much more aligned, clear. You're gonna see things, sparks, pearls, insights, whatever your ability is, whatever your purpose is to change the world to a better place will be revealed to you when you have done this. And then we can go into career, abundance, money, how we live our lives, with those true values being activated, we start to be able to manifest things in our lives. But that will go immensely quick, not slow, because there's no garbage to hold that back. There's no darkness to interfere. And when you have practiced these awareness of seeing what is you and not you, you are being able to create your life without disturbance. You know, if I could say you were born, and as soon as you become into this earth, you don't have any interference, because you just born, and we know babies has immense abilities because they are not interfered with anything. Imagine if you snaply go from being a baby and within 5 minutes you are 30 years old. How, without any disturbance, how powerful you would be. You know, your whole entire body, your inner light, your brain, your thoughts, totally free, clear, nothing to disturb or interfere, no noise. And you do that from five minutes in a clear, pure room. Wow, you could move mountains. So what I'm saying is, we can still do that. We just have to do the inner work within ourselves. So I'm gonna talk more about how to do this, how you're gonna practice, but I'm gonna do it step by step in my videos. I pulled these cards, not pulled, but I took these cards today, and we actually have freedom here. It's beautiful. Let me see how many cards. We're just gonna go with the flow, but this is all about your darkness and how to release it, how to observe your thoughts, and what the universe says. All right, so let's begin. Oh, that's a lot of cards, my goodness. Wow. They're not joking today, my God. Okay, so we have magic. Very beautiful. So when you start practicing your new journey, your spiritual path, or whatever you want to call it, and you say, yeah, I want to work with my thoughts, I want to forgive myself, I want to open up for those channels, magic appears in your life in every way. You know, richness doesn't come from money. Richness comes in many ways that leads you to a abundant life. How beautiful is that? You know, this is without noise saying, where richness comes in many ways. And life is simple. When you keep your life simple, your mind, your thoughts simple, magic appears. You clear out space for magic to appear. So you actually also see it like when you start to work with your inner self, right? Something wants to move up and shine and spread its wings, as you see. And then you see two circles representing portals, that doors are opening up for you. So this is a way also to see when you start working with your thoughts and magic appears, you start to opening the light from within that shines up from your heart, from your pineal gland. And you start to attract the things that you already have manifested. As we live, we have, let's call it wishes. You know, we think about, "Oh, I would love to have that house. I would love to live there. I would love to have that family. I would love to have this kind of love in my life." Fly says yes, because it just hit my nose, tip of my nose. So what I'm saying is these seeds are planted through our lives. And as we move along and how we grow and learn and get stronger and stronger, that seed will grow along the way. When that seed has fully grown and our inner self, our light has opened up, and we have emptied our garbage and we start to shine with unconditionally love, it aligns with those seeds we have planted. So you don't have to worry about anything. It's already preset. We do it subconsciously, and then with the noise, it's just making us numb. So it's kind of, we feel, and it is delayed. The sooner we open up for our inner light, magic will happen. All right, next card. That's beautiful. Turmoil. So you sit in your little boat. There's a shark. Danger. If we can say it like that, I don't see it as danger. This is the illusion, because you're going through rough seas during this period of digging deep into finding your trauma, and you are emptying your karmic depths. And when you start to observe your thoughts and you start to forgive yourself for any action you have did in the past, and even people who has been mean to you, that's turmoil, like it says, turmoil, right? Yeah, turmoil. That feels like a emotional roller coaster to do that. You're gonna cry, you're gonna freak out, you're gonna have sleepless nights, and you're gonna feel like you're in rough seas. But that's how we release our past. That's how we release our trauma. By facing it full on, and we acknowledge it, we embrace it with love, and we say we don't carry it anymore. We release it. We accept what is, and what has been, and we embrace the new version of us, the true version of us. So whatever happened, we forgive ourselves, and we move on. And when you start to do this, as you see this shark, it's an illusion. It will come with tricks. Tricks in a powerful way, because a shark is very powerful. It will try to bite you because it doesn't want you to release these things, because it wants access. And like I said in my previous some of my videos, you have a choice. It's your choice. We have a free will. God can interfere with your free will. It's your choice. Do you want to be you, the real you? Or do you choose to let some energy, some darkness, some entity mess around with you and steer your life in the wrong direction? Or do you simply want to sit in this boat right here through this journey and be the person that's right there saying, yeah, you can try to illusionate that you will come and bite me, but it's not going to be possible, because I'm not going to allow you to do that. I'm strong. I know where I stand. And you have to understand this. This is a game. Fear and putting dangerous illusions like the shark is. But in this illusion, it cannot bite you. You know, when you have a dream and you see something dark, or you have a dark thought, but you're not actually doing anything about it, but you just have it and you get afraid and you worry all day, that's the illusion. They can't actually go and grab you in the hand and put a knife through your heart, right? It can't. What it can mess with your mind, so you do it to yourself. If you go too far, deep underground with your thoughts and mind and body. But if you watch it, observe it, see it, you know it's there, you're aware of it, and you say, listen, like the person in the middle, that's your inner self, that's your strength, and you're on this journey through rough seas. You see it, but you don't care. The shark is not there. It's just an illusion. So go through turmoil, through this journey in a beautiful way. Wow. Feeling? You see orange and yellow, that represents beautiful things. Feelings are something that you have to really, how can we say it? It's, feelings are something that is like thoughts. A hurtful feeling that makes you sad, emotional, and puts you in a negative state. But you can have a nice feeling as well that is very loving. You need to mix that together and overcome it with love. When you practice unconditionally love towards yourself and others, feelings becomes numb to negative feelings, sad feelings. You can have a sad, loving feeling. Let's say I see a bird that at my hotel for a few weeks ago fly into the window, and it fell down, and it was just paralyzed, like it was just shaking. And the first feeling and thought I had, like, oh no, but that was a loving feeling. I don't want you to die. And it was like shaking, and then I waited a little bit and I took and turned it around because it was laying on its back. And as soon as I did that, it started walking. So it was just like a concussion, because it flew with its mouth into the window, probably, or the head. And it's just like it could go into a negative state, or it could just be controlled with strength, keep it in a loving way. And I was actually sending love to the bird, like really immense love. A dog from the hotel came and wanted to bite the bird because it had to stay where it was. It was going into the shadow of the sun and not to be warm. And then the dog wanted to bite the bird because it's just chasing birds and stuff like that. And I didn't get angry. I didn't have a bad feeling. I just told the dog not to do it, but in a loving way, because I love the dog as well. And that's unconditional love. Love is all about any action that's out there, any feeling towards something. I approach it with love. So this is something it represents as well. You have all this gray shadow darkness, and you're swimming kind of through these different emotional feelings, but you still have beautiful colors that you have to remind yourself of. And the card says sensitivity. Sensitivity is beautiful in a loving way. Sensitivity in a negative way is very hurtful. So be aware of that and treat yourself with love, especially through your feelings. And everything will go smooth. It actually shows smoothness in the way the movement are in this card. So any hard times we go through, we can still do it in a beautiful, smoothly way. Alright. There's so many cards, my God. But okay, we have to do it. So this card, purpose. You're gonna find your purpose along this journey very quickly. You're gonna find it through, like we said, with the magic card, right? And the turmoil. When you go through it, you release your fears, your guilt, your anger. And like I said, when you turn your light on, you open up for it, you actually activate your whole system to finding your purpose. You start to recognize, I really like doing this. I actually got the courage now to do this. And it could be anything. Anything we do that we always has carried within us that we liked, but we chose something else because we were disturbed by a noise that said, go out there and be a slave for the system, and we want to keep you here to pay your taxes and be miserable, and we will control when you are happy and not, when you can go on vacation, when you can travel, and we will just keep you in a state where it is. So dark forces, they control more than just you, governments and all these different things. They can impact thoughts, and any thought that is receivable through any state of mind where it's in a negative state or you have baggage, it can enter. So yeah, the guy that sits and chooses if we need new roads, or we need to raise the taxes 4%, there will be noise affecting that, noise affecting everything. It's just us. We need to understand that we can allow it, or we can choose not to allow it. When you choose not to allow it, your purpose in your life reveals. And this is where magic comes. Magic things gonna happen. Like me, I'm on my journey. Before, I was worrying about money. Every time I spend money, I was worrying about money. Now, I go every day. I just go with the flow. When I use money, I use it wisely, but I always say to myself, there will come more. I follow my purpose. I work with humanity. My intention is to work towards making the world better. And I can do it in many ways. And I want to fulfill my purpose. I found out what my purpose was because I went through suffering, going through darkness. I sacrificed my life until now to do that, and I see it in a beautiful way. So I'm following my purpose of giving people knowledge of that journey I have been on. I gain wisdom from my journey. You're gonna do the same. You're gonna find your purpose with doing this for yourself with self-love. Momentum. Wow. You see, when you start to move through these layers of forgiveness and emptying your traumas, and when you have released that, magic appears. The turmoil is seen by lightness, smoothness, feelings as well, that you see the beautiful journey instead of seeing the negative, and you swim through it like a koi fish. Colorful. You see it as a colorful journey. You find your purpose. You find how can I say it? Within the purpose, there's, when it gets activated, you start to find out what you really like the true self attracts and tells you, your higher self, yeah, I always love to work with animals. And before it was, I like to work with animals, but I'm afraid because I can't make money of it. But then suddenly you're gonna find a way to say, I could start my own business and I could actually work with this, and this neighborhood actually needs it. Universe, your higher self attracts possibilities, doors will open, like the magic card, the circles, the portal, opportunities, portals, doors will open. This is already manifested. Your subconscious and consciousness has already created what's out there for you is already set. You just need to remove the noise, and the momentum will happen for you to stand strong and say, wow, I actually did it. I created my own reality by walking my path. You see the red color, you know what it represents? Power and love. We could say it represents danger if we wanted to, but it's our choice. And what do we choose? We choose love, empowerment, and standing strong. And that's what you're going to do when you walk this path. You're already doing it. Be kind to yourself. Go to nature. On this journey, Mother Earth helps us heal. It helps us heal. We regenerate our energy. Whenever you feel low, go out, hug a tree, touch the leaves, branches, breathe fresh air, and enjoy the silence, the sounds of nature.